Today we are very honoured to have the wonderful Jay and Varina Patel, who are very well known on Google Plus for their wonderful landscape photography work and wilderness work. So I'm just going to throw it over to them and just quickly introduce them because they've got some exciting news that they're going to be coming to Australia for a landscape photography course, or workshop I should say. So what we might do is just quickly throw it over to Jay and Varina, and then we'll throw it over to the rest of the wonderful panel who have joined, just for a quick introduction. So let's just start with Varina.
Hi, I'm Varina Patel. I'm a professional wilderness and landscape photographer based in the United States. I've been shooting since I was a kid. I started with film photography, and it is the love of my life, second only to Jay.
You're lucky.
Yeah, and my children. Oh yeah, them.
Oh yeah, don't forget.
I'm failing. No. Yeah. So that's it. That's me.
Cool. And Jay, if you just want to give yourself a quick intro.
Quick intro for me. I'm a landscape photographer, just like Varina Patel, and just like Varina Patel, it comes second. Actually, Varina and I travel everywhere together. We are coming to Australia, so everybody in Australia, get ready. Yes. And make sure that I don't know what to expect in Australia. This is our first trip, so we are very excited. We would love to be there, love to see everything that is there to see, and I want to start talking Australian accent, lose my American accent.
Oh, wow.
Good luck with that.
Hey, at least I'll be able to talk about cricket with somebody.
Yes, that's it.
No, you know what? Jay can't even do a respectable Indian accent, and he's from India.
Yeah,
come on, man.
But can he cook good Indian food?
Oh, yes. We'll go try that out.
No, he can't cook either. He
I can
makes
eat
popcorn.
Indian food.
Well, fortunately on the workshop, which I'll be going to, I don't think you're going to be cooking, so that's okay.
No, we're not going to be
You
cooking.
can have fine dining every night, so and lunch and breakfast as well. But thanks for introducing yourself, guys. And I'm just going to introduce all the other guys just very quickly. We'll throw it over to Andrew on the left. All these guys are contributors to F-Stop Lounge, so throw it away, Andrew.
Andrew Newland, based in Chattanooga, Tennessee, United States. I'm a professional sports photographer. Wish I could be a landscape photographer, but I'm not good enough yet. I guess I need to go to those workshops. But yeah, just love photography, love these guys' work, and glad to be here.
Thank you.
And Carly.
Hi, I'm Carly, and I have a YouTube channel, Photography and Life, which I talk about the business part of photography, and I also have a business, Carly Elizabeth Photography, which is for business owners and entrepreneurs. So that's me.
Excellent, and you're also based in Melbourne, like
yes,
myself.
Melbourne, and it's raining.
It's raining. It is raining. It's been raining all day, so you've got hopefully great weather for landscapes.
All right, you know what? I'm sorry. I cannot feel sorry for you this morning because this morning I scraped ice off my car.
Oh, wow.
And there's more of that coming.
Isn't it?
It's winter here, that's right.
Yeah, it's winter. Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why we love coming to Australia in winter. We get to have the warm weather you guys are having.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully.
And Paul, what was the weather like there for you? Did you have snow, ice?
No, it was about 30 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So I live 600 meters from the beach, and I walked down there today, so
Cool.
it was rather nice.
I feel so sorry for you.
It's so hard.
Tragedy.
What do you do for a living, Paul?
Nothing. I stay on the beach. I'm a landscape and travel and commercial photographer, and I'm based on the west coast of Australia, so basically as far away from Leigh as possible and staying on mainland Australia.
Can I ask you a question real quick, Paul?
Sure.
Just a quick question. There's a photograph, just the corner of it over there on the corner of your screenshot there. Is that yours?
Give a second. I don't know how much of my screen's being shown. Yes, it is.
It is. Well,
Yes.
that corner of it is really beautiful. Oh, there it is.
That beach is
Very
about
nice.
15
Very nice.
minutes from where I live. So
Gorgeous shot.
Yeah.
thank you.
All right,
And
thanks for sharing that.
While we're on the subject of photos, I suppose that's why we're here as well. I thought maybe it would be a good idea if you could maybe just talk about the workshop, Jay and Varina, about what sort of people can expect when you come to Australia, and what sort of photos that they can take. Are they going to improve on their photos? Is that something that, you know, are they going to take
Yes.
something away from the landscape workshop?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. Our goal when we teach a workshop is to send people home with the ability to do what we've taught them, during the workshop elsewhere. So, if you come into the workshop and you don't know how to use your filters, if you don't have a clear understanding of how to get everything in focus, for example, in a wide-angle shot, if we're teaching you hyperfocal distance or something like that, whatever your goal is, we'll work with you to improve that area of your photography, and then we'll push you beyond that to really open up what you're capable of doing. And then we want you to be able to take that with you. We've really found that we get a lot of feedback about this, that people go on a workshop and a lot of times they're either sort of dropped on location and said, okay, go do your thing.
Yeah.
But that, for us, that's not what it's about. If you want to go to Australia and be dropped on a beach, by all means do that. But you don't need to pay us to do that. You can save money by just buying a really expensive plane ticket and going. What we want to do is send you home a better photographer than you were when you got there. And both Jay and I, we attack that from sort of different angles. We have different approaches, which makes it, I think, in a lot of cases, doubly effective for people. Some people learn better in one way, and some people learn better in another way. Jay teaches differently than I do. And so I think it means a lot fewer people sort of fall through the cracks. We don't have that problem. There's always, a new approach, a different approach, different ideas. So yeah, and like I said, we want you to go home knowing how to do this stuff and being able to use it wherever you are.
Cool.
Yeah,
Sorry, go on, Jay. Yeah.
So I'll add to that. So the way our approaches work is that because there are two of us, and because Varina is a female, we often get a lot of female landscape photographers coming to our workshops. Because it's hard to travel, let's face it, it's hard to travel with a group of men. So if you have 9
Yes.
photographers,
Right, Carly,
probably
right?
can relate to that. And then you have 1 female. So on our workshop, typically, we end up getting 2-3 female photographers at all. And then what will happen is when we go in the field, we will divide the photographers up. And when we divide the photographers up, we find that our ratio of an instructor to a photographer remains very low. We typically keep it less than either 5 to 7 students per instructors, no more than that. So,
I think we should point out that we do not divide students up by gender.
correct. So I was just going to come to that. So when we divide the students up, it isn't by gender. What it is by technical abilities and what we're teaching that day. Yes, and what we're teaching that day. So for example, we go on a location and we say, Varina's going to teach hyperfocal distance, to how to use that in the field. So the students who need help with hyperfocal distance will then go with Varina. And if I am teaching how to be creative or composition or how to measure your exposure using live view and how to use bracketing and live view together, then those students will then come with me. So what we'll do is on any given shoot, the division of the students will change every time based on what the student want to learn on that shoot and what we are focusing our teaching on for that particular day of shooting and a particular time of shooting.
And then
Okay.
at that point, once we've covered those topics that we've sort of set aside, of course there are students that want to do both, right? And so
Yeah.
at that point, once the students are set up, they are ready to do their shoot, then Jay and I are constantly going from student to student, back and forth, trying to answer questions, cover concepts that we haven't covered or that a student wasn't there for because they were with the other instructor, whatever it is. We're making sure we're filling in the gap. So we're very much hands-on instructors for the entire course.
Cool. That's really good and good. And just quickly, people that are listening, when is the course, and where can they find information?
Jay, go ahead.
The course is going to be run in first weekend of January, and you can register using my website, jpatelphotography.com, or you can go to photographybyvarina.com, and the registration page is there as well. So you can register through either page. If you register before November 15th, there is a $150 discount. For a 3-day workshop, the cost is $750. And that does not include your lodging and food, but it includes all instructions for the entire 3 days that you're there. There's also a bonus offer that I want to mention in the course is we have sort of partnered with a photographer, Australian photographer, Brent Mail. And one of our goals during this course is to be able to photograph or create a complete guide of landscape photography from start to finish. Is how do you go about doing the photography work. Part of that will be involve studio interviews. Other part will be involving what equipment we use. Other parts will be the field work that we are going to go show you. And everybody who's there on the coursework will probably get a copy of this video after it's finished.
This for us is completely new. We've never done this before. We do not intend to do it again anytime soon. So this is something that we're able to offer at no additional cost, which is so cool. We're so excited about this. And
yes.
We're only able to do this because we're going to be in Australia, where Brent Mail happens to live. And he has
volunteered.
Right, he's volunteered to come in and do this recording and get involved, and we cannot thank him enough. I think this is going to be absolutely huge to have that recording afterwards. You can go back if you are having trouble with a concept. You can go back and maybe it's right there for you, in this video. So this is huge for people to be able to get that.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm going myself, because I just think it's going to be a fantastic tool. And if anyone's ever been to Australia, just the landscape's just stunning.
We can't wait.
I'm just going to throw it across to Andrew, Carly, and Paul. You guys have obviously done landscape photography, doing it. And as photographers yourselves, what do you find the most challenging thing to learn, or like if you're teaching someone else or someone wants to understand photography, what's the best way that you've learned yourselves in the field? Have you learned from other photographers? Have you gone on workshops yourselves?
No, I have never been on a workshop, but I would love to. Maybe one day when I strike it rich with this photography thing and I can afford it. That's my number one thing I want to do.
I got to tell you that's good, except you got to understand these workshops can help you strike it rich with photography.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And many to make money.
That's
true.
Right.
That is true.
That's it. And Andrew, what would you want to learn on a landscape photography workshop? Is there something that you specifically want to learn?
How to control clouds. I am
we all want to know that.
I know. I get bummed out when I'm just out there and it's plain Jane, and I'm just like, seriously.
Yeah.
So let me stop you right there. So one of the things that, Andrew, we teach in our workshop is if you look at a landscape photography, your biggest expense by far, if you sum it up in a given year, is your travel cost. Yeah. What we spend on a travel in 1 year exceeds all the camera gear we own. We can actually purchase a complete new set of camera gear with the amount of money we spend on a travel. So a lot of people will say, hey, I'm going to go on a photography workshop and I'm going to get myself a new Canon 5D Mark III or Fuji X Pro one and go shoot, right? What we teach in our workshop primarily is if you're going there for 4 days, how do you maximize your time, right? So let's suppose you have a plain Jane vanilla skies. Now, go take a look at the shot of Paul that I shared today.
Yeah.
That shot can only be captured when you have brilliant sunlight. Is that correct, Paul?
There was not a cloud within the entire state of Western Australia when I was up there.
And so what we teach in our workshop is not just, great processing skills. Great processing skills, you can learn that on the internet when you're home. When you're on our workshop, what you want to learn is how to maximize your time and capture those images that under any light conditions.
Yeah.
That's really good advice.
Yeah.
That's really good advice.
But in here, I think that is probably the biggest challenge in landscape photography, and it's something I've kind of been working through in my own mindset lately. Is I went out the other morning and it was, there was some nice cloud around, but it just closed in on the horizon, so it was just there was no color, and I'm like, oh, what a waste of a morning. And I'm like, well, actually, it's only a waste if I actually let it be a waste. There's still things to capture.
That's exactly it. The trick is to know where to be and how to handle the light you've got. What you're seeing on my screen right now is a shot that was taken in broad daylight, not a cloud in the sky, and it's all about reflected light in this case.
In afternoon. Afternoon.
High sun, terrible lighting, but I'm in the shade and I have gorgeous reflected light. Worked out beautifully for me.
That is amazing. What is the picture of?
Oh, this is a place called House on Fire. Actually, it's in Mule Canyon in Utah, and it's old ruins. The roof of this little area is really cool, and if you use a wide-angle lens, you get this really neat, sort of effect. And when we were flying home from this location, I had these photos open on my screen, and the flight attendant leaned over and said, "Oh my gosh, that's a horrible fire." I was like, "Oh wow, yeah, it's not at all." But this is one of those locations. The trick is to know, you got to be aware of what the sky is doing and put yourself in the right place at the right time.
In fact, if somebody can share this, there's on Varina's YouTube channel, there is a short video that we recorded on location. In order to capture this, like Paul said, you have to go there when there's blue skies, and you have to go there as close to around 11 or o'clock or noon at the time of year we were there. Because if you go early in the morning, even if it's a blue sky, that sun doesn't creep close enough to the canyon walls to create that reflected light. So what we teach on our workshop in field is techniques and ability to see things that you may not necessarily conceive of.
Yep. Okay, cool. Carly, do you have any techniques that you want to master when it comes to landscape photography? I know that you've been dabbling in landscapes a little bit, so have a think.
I suppose I started dabbling in long exposure photography, so to me it was more trying to get the lighting right and trying to, I don't know, I guessed how much light I wanted to let into my camera, because sometimes I took photos in pitch black. So it was more getting to know my camera and knowing what settings to use and know the composition to make, I don't know, the light go around everywhere. I don't even know if that makes sense, but...
Oh yeah, definitely it does. Definitely, I think I love long exposure photography. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite techniques.
Yeah, I really loved it because I don't know, it just looks like a complete, I guess, painting effect. And I've always wanted to be able to paint, so I'm like, this is my painting, trick.
Perfect.
One of the coolest things, Carly, you can do with long exposure is actually move your camera. If you move your camera in the middle of the exposure, you get some really nice, incredibly ghostly effects with sort of a blur attached to that.
Okay.
And it is, especially if you have nice foreground object or a background object, and just start the exposure, let it be for a while, and then move the camera. And if you have a great foreground, you will see, like Verena is showing you, the shot on the screen.
Wow,
I love
yeah,
those,
I love
that
it.
style.
that's
Thank you.
impressive.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is the kind of thing where that Jay is talking about. I used a long exposure and actually just slowly moved my camera in the same direction as those tree trunks. So you get kind of a cool,
Painterly effect.
yeah, painterly effect, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
on the actual workshop, I take it we're getting easels as well as some paints as well. No, just on that. How does the actual workshop, and when we get to obviously when you come to Australia, how do you break up the day? How much sort of shooting time do you allow? In the morning or afternoon, or do you do any
Yeah.
nighttime shooting? Or
Well, this is actually a tough one for a place like Australia in the summer. Well, actually any workshop in the summer. Recently we were in Iceland, and the sun was setting at midnight. It was rising again at 3 a.m. And we
Wow.
were watching these photographers out there all day long in bright sunlight. And then there was nobody there at sunrise and sunset because, it was in the middle of the night. Jay and I, when we arrived in in Iceland, just switched our schedules completely. So we were getting up at bedtime and going to bed in the morning. And that way we were up all night. We were getting the most amazing sunrises and sunsets. We were basically shooting 6 hours a day. We were shooting those 6 hours of beauty, because the sunrise was lasting a lot longer on one end, and the sunset was lasting a lot longer on the other end because the sun was so low in the sky. So my point there is that what we do when we arrive on location is we adapt to the conditions that are there. For Australia, when we're shooting in summer and we have this really long day, we're going to have people up for sunrise and we will be shooting sunset, which means we're going to wear people out. But we promise we will let people have a break in the middle of the day.
That's what they edited their photos.
We plan on getting there. We plan on letting them sleep in the afternoon for 4 hours between lunch and 4 o'clock. Mm-hmm. But when we arrive in Australia, the way the workshop will start is we will all get together at a breakfast or a meeting room or some other place. And we will go introduce ourselves just like we do, and we will ask everyone, just like we're asking everyone here, Andrew, Carly, what is your challenge? What do you want to learn? And our advice to a student is don't come back and say, I want to learn everything there is to know about landscape photography, because you will not accomplish that in a small workshop like this. For 3 days, or even a 7-day workshop, or ever. You're right.
Yeah,
we're still learning, right? So what we do is we ask the students focus on 1 or 2 skills that you want to master at the end of the workshop, and tell us those. And then we will give you challenges during the shoots to be able to master and give you directions to say, how do you go about getting good at that?
Mm-hmm. And we're gonna push you beyond that too. We're gonna say, all right, well, this is what you want to learn. We can push you a little further and hopefully give you a little more than you'd hoped. So we'll get you there.
Cool. And they can always go and revisit if they're not quite getting it. Is that do you do that as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
For this particular workshop, I am hoping that Brent's video will actually give a lot of the instructions that they may have missed or they were not getting it. We'll go and revisit them.
Yeah, and we'll certainly, anytime somebody has a question, they're encouraged to come back to us and ask us. What's nice about having a workshop that lasts over the course of a few days is that, if you have trouble with the first sunrise, and there are specific issues that come up, we'll work on them throughout the day. You'll have another chance at the next sunset and then the next sunrise again, and hopefully you have several opportunities to try it and really start to add it to your sort of toolbox of things that you're comfortable doing. If you have a classroom session, which we also teach, and those can be great for a lot of things, but if you're trying to teach this stuff in a classroom, you get the concepts, you get to hear what it's about, and then you are, you're on your own, and that can be difficult if you haven't had a chance to try it again and again, really get it into your brain, right? So yeah, that can make a big difference.
Okay. And Jay, what do you have there?
So just to document what happens in our workshop, we actually produced a book, an ebook, probably about 3 years ago when we did workshops. When we had stopped doing workshops for the last 2 years for a variety of reasons, but now that I'm a full-time landscape photographer, we're going to start again. But we used to have a lot of repeat business. So this ebook, which is free, and I'll send you guys a link to F-Stop Lounge, and you can share it, kind of documents what happens during the workshop. And one of the things that we do during our workshop is to push people on is when we arrive, and can you guys see this on the screen? Because I can't see it.
Yep.
All right, so
we can see it.
So I'll see if I can make it bigger if you guys can see the large size. So when we arrive there, what we do is we will go and scout the locations for what we call local variation in terrain and what local geography has to offer. We'll also, what we do is develop networking with people, talk to local park rangers and other places to go and visit, local photographers, and find out what are the good places to go photograph, not necessarily to get great images, but necessary to make sure the students learn what we want to teach them or they improve their skills. So what we do is what we call scouting report. We will always go and scout out a location. Now, once the scouting is done, what we will do is we will start the photography workshop. But during the workshop, one of the days we will reserve to push all photographers in all different directions, called compositional challenges. And this is exactly what Andrew and Paul were mentioning, is we will take you in the crappy light at a location where people will moan and complain like there is no tomorrow.
You're
like
gonna
there's
love
nothing to shoot. And, why should we come over here? There's a light over there is great, but what we want you to understand is a key concept of landscape photography is you don't control light. The light controls you. And you need to be able to adapt to the changing light conditions. And this is something that people absolutely, students when they're there, don't enjoy. But after the workshop, when we ask them to post their photos on Google Plus or some forum or another where everybody can go ahead and share their galleries, the repeat students who came with us absolutely love this exercise, because what they realize is that as much as they were struggling to find something, they missed so many photographic opportunities that other people saw that they didn't see. And this is one of the ways we push our students to come up with something just beyond just a simple, great sunset, let's take a shot. If the light conditions are great, anybody can get a great shot.
Yeah, so the goal for this is to have you think a little bit outside the box. We have students who are sort of, looking at what other students are doing and going, oh my gosh, I would never have thought of that. And then they're off, excited and trying something new and different. And sometimes it's a location like this where the compositions are a little more difficult and the weather conditions are a little more difficult, where you come away with shots that are learning experiences in a way that an easy situation isn't.
Right. Okay. Cool.
And here's an example of a compositional challenge. Here's a photograph by Robert Biederman. He's been on several of our workshops, and he came to that location, and I shot a wide-angle lens, and he actually took this macro of just the superb textures and things. Right in the middle of the day. I mean, bad light conditions and everything.
It looks
Wow.
like an aerial shot, and I've seen
Yeah.
shots like
Yes,
that
it
over
looks like-
some of the lakes here in Australia.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it looks like a planet to me, floating
Yeah.
out in space.
Yeah, it's certainly spectacular. That's for sure.
Mhm.
That's for sure.
Gorgeous shot. Robert Biederman is an excellent photographer.
I'm sure he's listening.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, Mum.
You'll transfer the PayPal payment later.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Mum.
That's right.
And one of the things about workshop is it's all of this is all very learning. Here's a photograph by another one of our repeat students, Christina Jacob. But we also have a lot of fun. We will go and explore these areas, and I'm sure that we'll find some beaches in Australia to explore. But we went to this place in Utah, and Sean, who's also been on several of our workshops, found this mud pit. And what happens is, I don't know if the video will play here or not, but it was absolutely great. He stood on this mud pit, and the video probably won't play on this forum, but he kept sinking and sinking and sinking, and by the time he stood there for 5 minutes, he was all the way down on his knees. And oh, there we go. Can you guys see the video?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there you
he's walking around and going around and then he finally finds this mud pit, and he stands over there, and now you can see that he's completely out of the mud, and now he's standing there, and he feels like he's sinking. So, but his one foot goes down, and pretty soon he's going to be up on his knees. So when we are at the workshop, we encourage students, you know what? It's not all about photography. Have fun, guys. Just go there. And he just stood there, and he kept sinking in the mud.
This is what we call quicksand.
Yeah, no one's ever been eaten by the earth in your workshops, have they? Like,
No,
Just this
we
one.
pulled him out before he actually got all the way in.
That's why you have to sign a waiver before you join.
That's right.
I've been on actual workshops, though. The last one I went on. I went on one of Christian Fletcher's ones and Nick Rains in Tasmania, and Christian managed to drop his phase, which wasn't the best thing to do. And I think the previous month before that, he dropped on the beach, and a wave came up and cleaned his sensor.
Oh yeah. Really nice.
So Christian on his phase isn't doing too well, but I love going to workshops, and I'm really, really looking forward to this one. And that's really funny that.
Yeah, finally Sean digs
Great.
himself out, right? He's like, I could get out. He was stuck.
You can expect to do some kangaroo riding and things like that when you're here. Yeah.
Wow. Wait a minute. Seriously, do people ride kangaroos? No.
No.
Tell me they don't. I'm like, that can't be real. Okay, good. Whew, you had me worried. I was like, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah.
No, we just ride
Some
wombats.
people try it.
Yeah.
Most of them are still alive.
Awesome.
Okay, so just quickly summing up, because we'll start getting this to a wrap up, because I just want to touch up on Google Helpouts as well, something that you guys are doing for your worldwide audience. So just quickly, where can people go and see this sort of information again, and where can they see costings, and what do they need to bring with them? Just the general sort of stuff, if you wouldn't mind just telling us that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. You can find all the information you need at either of our websites, and you just click on the workshop link at the top of the page. You'll come up with our listing for all our workshops for the upcoming year, including our webinars that are also for sale. And click on the Australia link, and again, that's either at photographybyvarina.com or jpatelphotography.com. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter which one you choose. We just have to say them both because, you know, we're both here. So, yeah. But as far as what to bring, we will, as soon as you sign up, you're going to get a message from us, you know, thanking you for your sign up, of course, but also with all the information you need for what you need to bring along, what considerations, the gear you need, but also what kind of clothing and things like that. So you should be all set.
Cool. And is it only for professionals?
Oh no, absolutely not. No,
Okay.
we do recommend that you have a DSLR, or that's a camera with interchangeable lenses, and that's basically what we recommend. We want to be able to teach you a little bit about wide-angle photography and also a little bit about other lenses that you might have. So yeah, that's our general recommendation.
Cool.
When you register, Leigh, one of the things that will happen is you'll get an email back with a recommended list of equipment, as well as a rough outline of schedule that we are going to follow for
Right.
all 3 days. And you'll notice that in that outline there are a couple of open agendas that we have kept, and we always keep that for going back to a location or exploring things that people want to explore.
Okay. Great.
That they didn't get a chance to do.
Great. Well, lastly, did Paul, Carly, or Andrew, did you have any questions about the course yourselves, or any other questions about landscape photography?
I have a question about your scouting your locations. Do you often come up with situations where it's spontaneous and you've just been at the right moment in time and you capture the photo? Or is it more about planning?
Oh no, definitely not. Planning is important. I'm not going to discount the importance of planning, and we do a lot of it, but we will constantly change our plans based upon weather conditions and locations. Not too long ago we were in Death Valley, we were teaching a workshop there, and all of a sudden over our little handheld radios, one of our students in the back seat said, "Oh my gosh, did you see those pink cacti?" And we're like, "Pink cacti? Come on, guys. We've been here for years.
10
We've
years,
been this
yeah.
10 times, and you're telling us they're pink cacti? Ah ha ha." And he's like, "No, really, and look at the sky." So we're like, okay. So we turn around, we stop on the side of the road, and sure enough, there are pink cacti everywhere.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
gorgeous. So
Yes.
we get out, and that's how it works. We are always ready to just jump, and really that's what landscape photography is about. You have to be able to just follow the light and be prepared to turn on a dime. So yeah, definitely there's a lot of planning on our part, but there's also a lot of opportunity for just grabbing whatever it is that's out there.
Cool.
Those are those
Yeah.
cool pink cacti.
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow.
Right, and with a sky like that, you don't just
Yeah.
leave it. You
Yeah.
get the heck
You just
out,
go.
and right. So
So Carly, to sum it up, there is always long-term planning involved for us, but
Okay.
long-term planning does not predict local variability. So things like floods, cacti, storms, they disrupt our plans. So what we have learned over the years, and we are pretty good at doing this, is to do the long-term planning to put yourself in the best location at the best possible place, but then check your local conditions and adapt yourself
Okay.
based on
And
that.
get to learn the locals and trust the locals.
Yep, and use the locals to get the information.
that's right.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Do you guys go over stuff that, like, how to be prepared, not necessarily for photography, but how not to get attacked by Bigfoot? Prepared for safety.
You guys have that down
Safety
there?
stuff. I mean,
We have
like,
drop bears.
because I go out for weekends, and sometimes I'm not exactly prepared, and I'm sure you guys are much more prepared than I would as an amateur. But yeah, stuff on just how to be better prepared for nature, because it's scary to me.
So
Yeah,
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Jay.
One of the recommendations you will get in the email that you just get if you register for our workshop is not just equipment and schedule, but also what clothing to get for cold climates, for warm climates, for water sports and things. So we send out a list of recommendations, but one of the most popular videos we have is what's in my camera bag. If you guys, it's on YouTube, has been watched 50, 100,000 times, I guess.
And we should maybe apologize for the quality of that because I really didn't know it was going to be that popular.
Very popular, yeah.
I didn't really know what I was doing. So.
Might have to do one in Australia.
Yeah.
Actually, we have another one, a better version of that coming up out in the wilderness. But that recommendation that Andrew, you just said, we go through what survival gear we always carry with us, right?
Cool.
So.
And then we'll make sure that students are aware of local, wildlife and things that can be an issue. Like, for example, the scary kangaroos and.
Yeah. and not to ride on kangaroos.
Every animal in Australia, without exception, can kill you.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I've heard that
Every
before.
one of them.
Kangaroos are technically T-Rex deer, aren't they? So they're like.
Whoa.
That's the first time I've heard of being described.
Likewise.
I've heard of it.
That's really good.
They
That's
can be
awesome. Man.
aggressive.
I'm going to be calling them
Recommended
that
not
now.
to approach them.
Yeah, that's right.
Or look
Well,
them in the
I'm
eye.
really looking forward to, sorry. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to you guys coming here, and it's fantastic. And for the people that can't actually make it, remember there's going to be the video as well for the people that come along. They'll be participating in that video. But talking about video, how's that for a segue? Google Helpouts. What are they, and why? What is it? Can you explain what a Google Helpout is?
Yeah, we can. We were approached by Google. I don't know a month ago maybe.
Yeah.
About these new helpouts that they were going to release, and it's really cool. What's happening is you can sign up for a helpout, and the teacher or the trainer or the helper, whatever you want to call them, is available. They can set their own availability. They set their prices, and they there are things that you can teach, whatever it is. There's a huge collection of helpouts already out there because, like I said, Google approached a lot of people and brought them on board before they went live, of course. And so one of the things that's available are question and answer sessions with Jay and also with me. So one or the other, we don't do it together. We do it separately. So I highly recommend mine, and Jay's terrible at this. So.
For sure, yeah. No, nothing.
No, but so we've done a few of them already. We've had some really great questions. All you do is you go into the helpouts. If you're looking for us in particular, just put our names in the search box, and our listing will come up. You sign up, you look at the availability, and you choose a time, and that's it. And then you log in. It's just like a Hangout. It has a lot of the same capabilities. In a lot of cases, you can actually record it. Not everybody will allow that, but we do. And then you have it for future reference. And I've been pretty impressed. I've answered questions about hyperfocal distance. I've answered questions about masking in Photoshop. I've talked to people about what camera they should buy, which is one of the most common questions we get anyway. All kinds of things.
Fantastic. And Jay, what's your experience with these Google Helpouts? You've done a couple yourself, have you?
Yeah, we have. I've done a couple myself, and we also used to do webinars, and this is like what we call similar to private one-on-one webinars. Mm-hmm. What is awesome about this helpouts is that let's say you do come on a workshop and you capture an image that you see on the screen. I don't know if you can still see it or not. But say a very high dynamic range image and you're having trouble processing it. You can always request our services, and we can step you through workflow about how to process it. These helpouts are great for learning what we call post-processing techniques, as well as camera techniques. And they excel because one of the things we can do during those helpouts is share our screens. And we can share our screens, so let's say we can work on our own images. That means that you don't have to get an image that is somebody like mine or somebody else's. You can easily get an image from your own image and say, okay, here's my image, and how do I go about processing it? So, and once it's recorded, then you can just use the same techniques on other images. So the
Right.
concept is awesome. But I have to warn you guys, it's still in testing and beta phases. So like with all of the beta products, there are issues with it. But it is live, it is very stable and very usable. And like I said, we already run a few sessions.
And
Right.
it's mostly a very streamlined setup. It's very well done. It's clean and tidy and pretty easy to use. So,
Fantastic.
yeah, and of course, if you're interested in doing it too, this is something we recommend to other photographers. It's a great way to earn some money. Get up there, set yourself up a listing. It's not that difficult to do. You do have to be approved, but most of the time that's not a problem. So we have a lot of photographers who are looking for ways to go pro and looking for ways to make a little bit of money. This is a great way to do that, no matter what it is that you're good at. There are people who want to learn from you. Heck, monetize it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I've already signed up. Google, if you're listening, I'm here.
I've been approved, so there, Lee.
Yeah, true.
Actually, they approached me as well, so.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I just wanted to thank everyone for jumping on board this hangout. It was really cool. We've got people from one side of Australia to the other and overseas as well in the US, so I really appreciate it. And thank you very much, Jay and Varina, for joining this hangout and telling us about the course that you're going to be coming to and running in Australia next year. So thank you very much.
We are looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to seeing you in a couple of months.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a real pleasure to be here. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, guys.
No worries.
Let's
thank
do it
you,
again.
Andrew, Carly, and Paul. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks so much.
We'll see you next time. Cheers.
Bye.